All right, welcome. Welcome to a test run tonight with Oak House Racing. Nice enough to let us come in and do their recruitment race tonight. Kind of get a test on how our new, we made a bunch of changes on our system today. So we are going to run a little test here with Oak House Racing tonight. They're doing a recruitment race tonight. Get ready for their upcoming season. And they are just getting qualifying wrapped up. We're at Auto Club Speedway here with the next gen cup cars. So qualifying is just wrapping up. We got about a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes into warm up. So we'll jump here real quick, take a look at. So if you're over there in the chat, if you're watching, send us a note. Let us know how it's looking out there right now. Everything looks good on our end. So we're just kind of want to test some stuff out tonight. To figure the live event would be a good way to do it. And Oak House was nice enough to let us come in here and do this. So they're getting lined up right now on the starting grid. We will pull up this qualifying results, and it's going to be Thomas Haley on the pole tonight here for the Oak House Racing recruitment race at Auto Club. Zach Baker on the outside, inside of row number 2, starting at third spot. It's going to be Timothy Smith and then Brad Williams. Ruben Rodas starting in the 5th spot. Steven Taylor. I just got confused with the guy from Aerosmith. Steven Taylor in the 6th spot. Craig Hayes in 7th. Ryan Kessler starting in the 8th spot. Back in 9th, James Burns and Matthew Kleckler. Matthew Kleckler invited us in here, so thanks a lot for that, Matthew. Really appreciate it. Blake Cuttrell in the 11th spot. Jason Trokey in 12th. Get back here to the rest of the grid. I think we have about 15 cars here for tonight. Starting in 13th, it's going to be John Russo, Randy Taylor, and Colton Burnell. Going to round out our 15-car starting grid here at Auto Club. Should have used our fancy little, we got our fancy little lineup graphic. We should have used this here. We'll just kind of let this play out, even though we did the grid already, but we want to test everything out we can tonight. So Brad Williams and Timothy Smith, like we said, in row number 2. So we'll just kind of let this play through as everybody's kind of making their way around the racetrack. We got about half a lap left to go as we go down the back straightaway. Play around with our cameras. All right, down the back sheet we come. Now we're going to come to the green here. Coming through 3 and 4, it is Thomas Haley, Zach Baker on the front row. 40-lap feature. Haley, Baker, Rodas, Williams, your top 4 starting spots right here. iRacing Pace Truck to come around through turn number 4. That's the turn, come out of 4 here down the front straightaway. So Haley going to bring us to the line. Thanks for being here with us. We're just jumping in here really quickly tonight for this short little 40-lap race. A little recruitment race. I think they want to check some guys out, so it's a good thing for us. Steins Design is going to sponsor our green flag tonight. Haley going to get a good jump down into 1, and it is going to be Baker right there up on the outside. Haley Rose is going to make his way into that 2nd spot down there on the bottom. He's really rolling that bottom of the racetrack. We are 3 wide off of 2. Haley, Baker, Rodas, Williams right now, your top 3. We're side by side now for that 4th spot. It is Rodas and Hayes now. Hayes at 93 going to take a look to the inside for that 4th spot. Underneath the 23 at the same time. Baker look underneath the Haley for the lead. They come off of turn number 4 here to complete lap number 1. It is Haley and Baker at the line. Side by side, Haley going to lead this first lap. It looks like no, Baker's going to take the lead. They're right as they come across the stripes. We are side by side for 1st and 2nd and for 4th and 5th. Turn number 2 here. Haley, Baker still side by side. Baker going to slide back up into that 2nd spot, but it's Williams now. And we are 3 wide one more time. There's Rodas down there on the bottom. Going to make it 3 wide in that 23. He is going to make his way up to 4th spot. We're 3 wide into 3. It looked like Williams, or actually Hayes, kind of thought the better, but backed out of that little middle spot. But good race right here for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. 3 wide. Rodas going to make way up to 3rd. He's going to be behind Baker, but I don't think he's done yet. He's looking to the inside of Baker, but Hayes now down there on the bottom of Williams. That 4th position. He's going to have a good run heading down into turn number 1. I think we're going to see him get down to the bottom. We're going to be able to slide up. Actually, he's going to get up alongside of Rodas as well in that 23. Well, the numbers on the jumping these random races, sometimes the numbers on the leaderboard kind of mess you up. So, but we're looking here side by side. Baker, Rodas, Haley. Taking a look back there at Trokey, but looking like he didn't make the field. We only got 10 cars started out of this 15. Kaiser back here in the 10th spot right now. We go back up to the point, and it is still Baker and Rodas side by side. And Ruben, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, just send me a note here later. Let me know. But Rodas going to make his way. That's second there for a second, but he is going to get in front of Baker now, sit on that second spot. Baker now stuck down on the bottom of Hayes. That outside line seems to have a little bit of momentum off the corners. Head through 3 and 4 one more time. All 10 cars pretty much right there on the same straightaway. It's Haley, Rodas, Hayes, your top 3. Baker, Williams rounding out the top 5. As we start lap number 5 of 40. 4 laps down, 36 left to go. Baker's still down there on the bottom. Haley, good pace right there, but it's actually Ruben Rodas at the fastest lap of the race at a 45.13. Take a look at our big gainers of the race. Blake Cuttrell up 4 spots. Craig Hayes also up 4 spots. Colton Bundle up 3. Rodas up 3. And Trokey also up 3. Haley, Rodas, Hayes, Baker, your top 4 right now. Let's get some more of our fancy graphics up on the screen for you. Only about a quarter of a second out to the gap right now. Back to Rodas. Rodas gets a good run down to the bottom. Coming off the 2 down the back straightaway. Can he make the pass? One more time, Rodas trying to work that bottom. Haley rolling that top really well. You can see how that top really keeps up the momentum off the corners. 5 laps down out of 40, going to come across the stripe to start lap number 7. 6 laps down, starting lap number 7 here for Haley, Rodas, and Baker. And that looks like it's Williams down there on the bottom in the 11, getting underneath Baker now in that 77. Can he clear him off a 2? Doesn't look like it. He's going to have to stay down. Oh, a little bit of almost pinches him at the fence. He started to move up the racetrack and saw Baker there a little bit late. They made a little bit of contact, but no harm, no foul. And here comes Hayes now to the bottom. He is going to take advantage of that loss of momentum there from Baker. Hayes now up to 4th, and he's all the way alongside of Williams for that 3rd spot, but not able to clear him here off of 4 as we come across the stripe one more time. Look back up here to the front. It is still Haley. Rodas right there behind him. We're just getting stuff settled out here real quick. Rodas now to the point. He's got the lead for a moment, but here comes Haley back up on the outside as they come off a 2. Down this back straightaway one more time. It's Haley and Rodas side by side. Baker now looking to move alongside of Williams for that 3rd spot. Williams going to nose back a little bit on the outside as they head into 3. It's Williams and Baker side by side. We're side by side for 1 and 1st and 2nd and 3rd and 4th. Rodas tries to move up the racetrack a little bit. Doesn't quite have Haley cleared, but moves up, and that is going to get Haley a little bit of contact with the outside wall. Looks like it didn't hurt the car too bad. He's still rolling. I'll go back and take a quick look at that pass again one more time. It looked like, let's look at it from the in-car of Haley. Looks like I might have rewound a little farther than I wanted. You see as they head down into 3 and 4. Rodas starts to move up the racetrack just a little bit. Just a little bit of contact there. Rodas is going to stay to the point. Haley's still right there behind him now, about quarter of a second back. He's looking to the outside one more time. Rodas has been doing a good job working the bottom of the racetrack. All right, thanks for being here. My name's Chris Murphy with DRSN. Just jumping here doing a quick little test race. We got 30 laps left to go in this Oak House Racing recruitment race here at Auto Club. 30 laps left to go. It is Ruben Rodas, Thomas Haley, Zach Baker, Brad Williams are your top 4. Back there in 5th is Steven Tyler. Or Taylor. I keep saying Tyler. It's Steven Taylor. As we take a look here from the chopper cam. Our top 5 kind of separated out from the rest of the field, and it's about almost a second and a half back to Blake Cottrell. Back up to the front here right now. 11 laps down, 29 laps left to go. It is Rodas, Haley, Baker, Williams, still your top 4. Steven Taylor back here lurking in that 5th spot. Baker's going to make a move. Great run off a 2 right there. Haley lost some momentum, and Baker was able to reel him in. Going to move up into that 2nd spot. Baker at the bottom, Haley at the top. That top line's been having a lot of momentum off the corner. Take a look back to the field. It looks like our 10th place truck of James Burns is out of this race. Look back to 9th. It is Ryan Keys, Craig Hayes, our host Matthew Kleckler back there in the 7th spot right now, just kind of watching everything unfold up in front of him. 28 laps left to go. We come off of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway one more time. Look at our lap leaders here. Haley's now led 9 laps for Rodas with 4 laps. That's our two leaders here in this race. The 77 of Baker is starting to make up some ground here on Rodas. Baker started in that 2nd spot, fell back a little bit. He's now worked his way back up into 2nd. Can he find a way around Rodas here for the lead? 27 laps left to go. I don't think we're going to have any fuel stops in this race. Unless they cut the fuel down a little bit, but I didn't see the settings for it. But here's Baker with a great run underneath Rodas into turn number 3. And he is going to have him cleared in the center. He's going to move up to the top of the racetrack coming off a 4. And it is going to be Baker out to the lead. Rodas and Haley now, your top 3. As we come across the stripe to finish lap 13, start lap number 14. Rodas trying to come back at Baker, but that was a great power move from Baker. He had fallen back just a little bit, made up all this ground. Now he is back to the point. Oak House Racing Recruitment Race. My name is Chris Murphy with DRSN. Jumping on here real quick, doing a little 40-lap race. Made a whole bunch of changes to our system today and just really wanted to get on here, and should have been upgraded our quality here, so we should be broadcasting at 2K. So if you're out there, let us know what it looks like. Let us know what I think. But so far, a pretty good race going on here. It's been Baker, Rodas, and Haley now your top 3. Williams now trying to hold on to that 4 spot. He's got his hands full with Steven Taylor down there on the bottom of the racetrack. Take a look here at the 11 of Brad Williams. Looks like we might have another card. It looks like Craig Hayes now is out of this race. Led a little bit of it early, but looks like he has parked it for the night. Now Baker came back up through this pack and then just took off. He is now almost a second and a half clear of Ruben Rodas. Here comes Haley now. Haley reeling Rodas back in, looking for that outside. You know, the thing here with California at Auto Club, those tires start to go away a little bit, and they go away somewhat quickly out here. That top line's where you got to kind of let that car roll up to the top of the racetrack, because holding it down to the bottom is just going to make it worse. The car just wants to push when you hold down the bottom. Rodas doing a really good job of running that bottom groove. Haley trying to roll the top as he switches down to the bottom here through 3 and 4. Come across the line here to start. Take a look at this turn one digger cam. There they are. So it's Baker, Rodas, Haley, Williams, Taylor. Baker on that 77. What's a sponsor on the side? Jerry Hunt, Super Center. Sponsor on that number 77 Chevrolet Camaro. Right back there behind the Air Jordan number 23, Ruben Rodas. Now, I don't really think Air Jordan's giving Ruben any money, but if he is, more power to him. The Roto phone number 18 of Thomas Haley are now in third. Williams back to fourth. You still got Taylor right there behind him. Then it's another second half back to Blake Cuttrell, or Cutterell, in that 48 Jimmy Johnson lookalike car, and then Matthew Kleckler. And then the last car left on the racetrack out of our 10 starters is the number 28 of Ryan Kieser. Baker now with a good lead. 22 laps left to go in this race. 18 down. Last lap of the race has still been that Ruben Rodas with a 45.13. That's about a tenth of a second better than anybody else ran so far in this race. I don't think that's going to get any better as we're going along here. Tires are just going to be wearing out. Baker now almost 2 full seconds out to the good. You take a look back here from the back of Baker's car, and Rodas is just disappearing into the darkness here under the lights here at Auto Club Speedway. Come off of turn number 4 here one more time. And it looks like they are going to have to stop for fuel, so we've got pit stops beginning halfway through this race, right at lap 20. Baker going to come down. Rodas going to stay out on the racetrack. We'll keep an eye on those pit stop times. We got Baker, Williams, Taylor, Cuttrell, Kleckler all rolling into the pits. Kieser also in the pits as well. Rodas and Haley stayed out. Burns also stayed out on the racetrack. It looks like Burns might have disconnected and came back, but Craig Hayes is the only car out of this race right now. And it looks like now Rodas going to now roll down into the pits. So let's see how that cycles out. We got Baker now coming out of the pits. We'll see how that works out for him to see. So Rodas pitted a lap later. We'll see if the undercut. It looks like everybody took tires about 15.5 second pit stops. Cuttrell with the best stop with a 13.8. But is Haley going to beat Baker out of the pits right now? So it could be Haley and Baker going to see if they can run down Rodas. Rodas right now coming off the pits. Coming out of the pits, Haley just now rolling off a 4. Still looking for the pit time here for Rodas as he rolls out of the pits now. Rolling down to the bottom, coming up on the racetrack off of turn number 2. I don't have a pit time for him for some reason. But here comes Haley and Baker now coming in turn number 2. Are they going to catch Rodas? Rodas right down the middle of the back straightaway now. And here comes Baker, Williams. It looks like Rodas had to come back in. He had some kind of a mistake there on that pit stop. I don't know if he missed his pit stall or he had a black flag. We have a black flag for Rodas for speeding in the pits. Unfortunate for Ruben Rodas. That is going to give the lead over to Thomas Haley. Rodas' chance of winning this race has just gone out the window with that black flag, so it's now down to Haley, Baker, and Williams, now our top 3. Williams up 1 spot, and then you take a look back at that 4th spot of Blake Cuttrell, up 7 spots now, started back in 11th, up to 4th in the 48. $18 laps left to go. We've got about 8 cars, let me see, 9 cars left on the racetrack if Ruben comes back out. My name is Chris Murphy with DRSN, bringing you the Oak House Racing Recruitment Race. Some of these leagues will run these recruitment races, just trying to find some new members for the next season. Looks like he's putting on a pretty good show. I haven't seen anything out of any of these guys that will question their involvement from my side of things. But then again, I'm not making the decision, so. We'll take a look here one more time at Thomas Haley. It is almost 4 seconds back to Zach Baker. Baker had the lead when the pit stops began, but unfortunately for him, he is now fallen back to second and fallen back about 3.5 seconds now. They both had about the same pit stop times, but Baker just did not get in and out of the pits near as well. He lost 5 seconds during that time. Taking a look here at Thomas Haley. Rolling down the back straightaway one more time. Haley, Baker, Williams, Cuttrell, Matthew Kleckler now up to the 5th spot, up 5 spots after starting back in 10th. Zach Baker trying everything he can. He's actually made up some ground. He's made up about a half a second on here on Haley over the last couple of laps. He's got 15 laps left to reel him in. We take a look here at Zach Baker in the 77. We hit on the back straightaway one more time. It is Thomas Haley right here in the 18. Baker, Williams, Cuttrell, Klecker, our top 5. And it's 6th place running Steven Taylor. Back up to the point, it's Haley, Baker. Now about 2.7 seconds separated the two at the top. Let's see here. All right. Haley, Baker, Williams, your top 3. Williams looking pretty strong in this 11 car, but he's finding himself about 5 seconds back to the leader. Baker now cut in about another 3 or 4 tenths of a second on that last lap as they come across the stripe. Baker almost exactly a half a second faster on that last lap. Can Baker reel him in within the next 13 laps? 27 down to this 40-lap race. 13 left to go. Looks like Rodas had a black flag. It was cleared again. Rodas looked to have a pretty good pace early, took the lead, but he has now fallen back out of this battle. He's down the 9th. Not only that, but it looks like he's about a lap down. Actually, 3 laps down at this point. Gonna keep an eye on this battle here. We look out of the windshield here with Baker. I need to change my point of view a little bit. Looks like I'm in their car driving there. Go to the gyro cam. You see Baker run a little bit different line. He's kind of running the middle of the bottom. Haley way up there on the top of the racetrack. They've got a lap car right there in front of them. That must be the 07 of Burns. You see he's going to move down out of the way. Let the leader go by. So Burns moving completely out of the way in that 07. Baker going to drop down by. Maybe pick up a little bit of a slipstream from that 07 as he heads into turn number 3. Coming off a 4 now. The gap is down to 1.4 seconds. And look out of the back of Haley, and you can see Baker getting closer and closer in that mirror back there. 1.4 each lap now has been about 3 to 4 tenths of a second faster for Zach Baker. Can he reel Haley in here? You can see them both here on the same screen now as they come off of turn number 2. It is down to 1.3 seconds. I think Baker is going to catch him if he keeps at the pace he's going within the next 4 laps. We're going to see Baker up alongside of Thomas Haley for that lead. We look back through the field. Williams and Cuttrell back here in the 4 spot. Kleckler back here racing for 5th and 6th with Steven Taylor. And we'll look here. It's Ryan Kaiser, James Byrne, and then Ruben Rodas, our early race leader. We're going to take a look at that. We'll see who our lap leaders have been. We've had 3 different leaders in this race. Haley now has led 18. We got a caution caution on the speedway. Not sure what that was for. I don't know if the race control just decided to throw a caution, or but we'll see if we can see what happened here. I don't. Looking back here in the back, I don't see. Maybe go up to the blimp, we can see what happened. I'm not quite sure. We're just going to go back to green here, I think. Maybe they just want to tighten the field up for the last few laps. I'm not quite sure. All right, let's see if anybody dives down to the pits, but that is going to let Baker get up on the back bumper. Haley here with about 9 laps left to go. Lights are still on the pace truck. We're going to go around at least one more time. That means we're going to probably start. We'll take the green flag with about 7 laps left to go in this race. Haley, Baker, Williams, Cuttrell, Kleckler, Taylor, Kaiser, and Burns now. Burns a lap down in that 07. Rodas back there also a lap down. Actually, about 3 laps down now at this point. All right, once again, I am Chris Murphy here with DRSN. Thanks for being here with us. We're just jumped on here kind of at the last minute. It looks like everybody's going to dive down the pits, take on some tires. All right. We'll keep an eye on his pit stops. It looks like Brad Williams is going to stay out on the racetrack. Oh, he's going to come in as well. Burns is going to stay on the racetrack. That'll get his lap back. At least he was probably the lucky dog anyway. So Burns and Williams both a lap down at this point. Freedom isn't free. 07 Chevrolet Camaro there. All right, so who's going to come out with the lead? It looks like it's going to be... It looks like maybe Cuttrell and Kleckler only took right side tires looking at the time. That's what it looks like. It looks like 2 tires stopped there for Matthew Kleckler. All right, appreciate you jumping on there with us. And that is going to put Blake Cuttrell in a 48 car. Cuttrell, I think I've said his name like 3 different times here, or 3 different ways, so. Why is that not live? Blake Cuttrell, Matthew Kleckler, Thomas Haley now your top 3. Baker right there in 4th. I think we're going to have a heck of a finish here. We're going to come across the stripe. Take the green flag with about 7 laps left to go at this point. Actually, it looks like we're going to roll across one more time. Give the 07 a chance to catch up to the back of the field. He's getting his lap back. Williams got a lap back. Looks like Rodas might have got one of his. He's still 3 laps down at this point. It's Cuttrell, Klecker, Baker, your top 3 here at Auto Club Speedway. 7 laps left to go. There's going to be 6 laps left to go when they take their green flag. We're rolling down the back straightaway here into turn number 3. Cuttrell, Klecker, Baker, Haley, Taylor, Kaiser, Burns. Our 7 cars on the lead lap. Then we go back to Brad Williams. It looks like Brad might be out of this race now at this point. We're going to roll off of turn number 4 here. I'm just going to car on Blake. So Blake and Kleckler now coming to the line. I expect Kleckler to get a good run down there on the bottom and watch that 48 roll off the top of the racetrack. We're going to come all the way to the striper before we take off. It's a pretty late start. Oh, Blake spun the tires right there. That is going to let Kleckler take the lead. Not good for that 48. Spun the tires as they came to the line. And that is going to let Kleckler jump out in front by about half a second now with 6 laps left to go. Baker down to the bottom of the 48 now trying to make his way around. Haley up on the outside. We're about to 3 wide for this second spot here in a second. Oh, nice move down to the bottom. That is going to be the 23. Excuse me, the 23 of Baker. Baker now going to make it 3 wide. He goes past. Actually, I got that wrong. Who is that in the 23? Baker's the 77. Oh, that's Ruben Rodas. He's a lap down. That's why I wasn't trying to figure out who that was. So Rodas, even though he's a lap down, he's charging the way through this field. It's Kleckler, Blake Cuttrell, Thomas Haley, Steven Taylor. Rodas making his name present here, even though he's about 3 laps down. 5 laps left to go now for Matthew Kleckler. Started back in 10th. He's moved up 9 spots in that number 7. Oak House Racing sponsored numbers. Ford Mustang. But he has got the 48 coming up on the outside, and don't look too far back, but it's also Thomas Haley down there on the bottom. 4 laps left to go as we head through 1 and 2 one more time. Matthew Kleckler, Blake Cuttrell, Thomas Haley, Steven Taylor, Zach Baker now back in 5th. Baker not able to make up much of a charge since that pit stop, but here comes Haley now up to 2nd. Tries to move up the racetrack off of turn number 2, but just can't quite clear him. Can't get clear of that 48 car. All right, so here comes Haley now. Haley's worked his way up onto the back of Kleckler. They're going to come across the line. 3 laps left to go. Kleckler doing all the racetrack down there on the apron, but you can see how tough that was. That transition off the flat spot of the racetrack. Here comes Cuttrell back to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to find his way around Haley. And look at Steven Taylor right there. Hadn't really talked much about Steven all night long, but he is right there in that 4 spot, trying to make his presence felt. Zach Baker in 5th. This race is going to come right down the line. We roll off at turn number 4. Going to come across the stripe. 2 sticks up in the air. 2 laps left to go for our leader, Matthew Kleckler. Thomas Haley right there behind him. Can Haley reel him in? Baker looked to have a good shot to win this race before that caution flag, but here comes Cuttrell back to the bottom. Haley moves down the racetrack just a little bit to kind of pinch me down to the bottom of the racetrack, not let Cuttrell get a run up off the corner. It worked really well for him as Haley now moves back up into 2nd. That 48 car looking down at the bottom one more time through 3 and 4s. We're going to come across the stripe, take the white flag. It's Matthew Kleckler, Thomas Haley, Blake Cuttrell. Oh, and contact right there. Contact with the 48 and the 18 as they are now nose to nose as we come to the line, and we did not get the white flag, so we are going to get it green-white checkered. Let's see if we can see what happened there. We got the 48 car down here on the bottom. He gets on the apron. Let's see, he kind of starts sliding up the racetrack here. This is a moment of contact. It looks like this is through 3 and 4. The 40 just keeps sliding up the racetrack. Oh, that was actually the 18. The 18 into the wall first. And then just kind of came down. I mean, at the same time, Blake was kind of sliding up the racetrack. Haley got into the fence all on his own. We'll take a look one more time here from maybe a little bit different angle. Take a look from the chopper view here. You can see the 48 car way down on the bottom of the racetrack, down on the apron. And you can see him kind of chasing the car up the racetrack here. And the 18. Yeah, unfortunately, that was just Thomas Haley getting to the wall. Looked like all by himself from what we could see. Baker ends up having to take evasive action down to the bottom into the grass. All right, so we're going to have a green-white checkered here at Auto Club Speedway. We'll get back to live time here. All right, our leader now, Matthew Kleckler. Steven Taylor right there behind him, Zach Baker. It looks like Haley might be done for the day. Rodas also done for the day. Cuttrell somewhere in the pits here. Let's see here. Actually, Rodas still out on the racetrack. But it looks like Haley might be done. So we're going to see. We're going to have a green-white checkered here with, what, about maybe 5 cars on the lead lap. And this is the 5 cars right here. It's Kleckler, Taylor, Baker, Kaiser, and Burns. Burns, who was a lap down not too long ago, back on the lead lap now. So he's got a shot here, but Kleckler looks to be the strongest here after that last caution, the first caution flag of the night that actually we pitted back on. Kleckler looked to be the strongest car on the racetrack since then. Well, looks like Cuttrell's going to get that 48 car back out on the racetrack. I don't think he lost a lap either, so he was looking pretty stout there for the last few laps to see if he can make his way back to the front, but he's going to start back in the 6th spot. So we had 15 in the lobby when we started. Only 10 took the green flag. We're now down to 6. Oh, we're down to 7, but Rodas finds himself about 2 laps down at this point. All right, beautiful shot down on the Auto Club Speedway. And let's see where the pace truck is at. It looks like we're going to go green here next time by. Lights are out as we roll through 1 and 2. So we can see the cars rolling down the back straightaway. Appreciate you being here. This is Chris Murphy with DRSN, bringing you the Oak House Racing recruiting race. The field looked like it was going to be a pretty solid field when we started, but it's dwindled down to about 6. It's a pretty good racing up front. Let's see if Steven Taylor has anything for Kleckler on this restart. We go green-white checkered. So, as all of us NASCAR fans know, when we go green, the next flag, excuse me, once we hit the white flag, the next flag after that will win the race. So, you just got to win the race to the white flag, and if the yellow comes out, then that's it. So we'll see what happens here. We got 6 cars left. Actually, 7. Let me see. Yeah, 7 cars left. But only 6 on the lead lap. We're going to roll off of 4 here. Going to have Kleckler going to bring us to the line. And we're going to go green flag one more time. Hopefully for the last time. Green-white checker for Kleckler, Taylor, and Baker now are top. Oh, and there goes Taylor right into the wall. And we are not going to get start. We're going to go back to caution. We got to see what happened there. We were looking from the starter cam. We were not able to see what happened there. We'll go back here and take a look. Let's rewind that just a little bit. So it looks like, I'm not sure what that was. Let's see if we can get a little wider shot here or something. Back this up one more time. I don't like rewinding during the race, but whatever. We're just playing around here. All right, so we got Taylor here on the outside. If that was netcode, that was some of the worst netcode I've ever seen. Because there was a big gap between Kleckler and Taylor, because Kleckler kind of spun the tires a little bit. And you saw the car wiggle, and then all of a sudden Taylor's in the wall, so I'm not sure what that was. But, So let's see. All right, so we're back under caution. Third caution of the race. We might be down to, we got Burns and Kaiser both in the pits. No, they're not slowing down here. They're still running 140 mile an hour. Now we're slowing down. Let's go back and take a look at that one more time from the cockpit view. Is they going to catch the pace car here? We'll go back and look at this one more time from the cockpit of Steven Taylor. Maybe he just spun the tires. I'm not. That was either netcode or he just spun the tires right there. It's the only way I can see it, but it's unfortunate there for Taylor. Had made his way up to second. So we are now down to it looks like 3 cars on the lead lap here. Kleckler, Baker, and Cuttrell. All right, we got we took the green flag with 10. Got 3 left on the racetrack right now. Ruben Rhoda's still out there. Actually 4 on the racetrack. Kaiser and Burns in the pits. Taylor has retired. All right, if you're out there, just send us a note. How's that stream look? It's looking pretty good from our end. Appreciate you taking the time. We're just doing a little test here tonight. We jumped on into this 40-lap race for Oak House Racing recruitment race. And this field has dwindled down to 3 on the lead lap right now. It's going to come down to Kleckler, Baker, and Cuttrell here with 3 laps left to go. Or it's going to go green, white, checker, 2 laps left to go once we take the green flag. Kaiser and Burns took a bunch of damage in that. They both had a meatball flag, so. All right, that's our field right there. It's 4 cars. All right, Kleckler the lead down there on the bottom. We rolled on the back straightaway here. I like this back straightaway cam, so I just like to use it whenever I can. Looks like everything's been running really well. I should run some stats here real quick. All right, it's going to be Kleckler, Baker, and Cuttrell coming to the line. Three cars left on the lead lap. 2 laps left to go. Buckler started way back there in 10th. Actually started in 10th, now up to 1st. Cuttrell started in 8th. All right, we're going to come to the stripe. Green, white, checkered here. 3 cars on the lead lap. 4 cars left on the racetrack. The Steins Designs green flag comes out, and it's Kleckler going to get a jump over Baker. Baker settled into 2nd. Cuttrell there in 3rd. Rodas is still at least 1 lap down. Actually, 2 laps down now at this point, so he's just kind of riding around back here. Kleckler gets a good jump. He's about half a second out to the good. Baker on the outside. Cuttrell down there on the bottom in the 48 after being involved in that last caution. He has still got a chance to win this race. We're going to roll through 3 and 4. White flag out for Matthew Kleckler. Can he take the win here? Right behind him, Zach Baker. Cuttrell batted out for 2nd, and it doesn't look like they're going to have enough to catch Kleckler. Kleckler about half a second out to the good here with about 3/4 of a lap left to go as they come off of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, Kleckler with a good lead. 4/10 of a second now back to Baker. Baker's looking solid in that second spot. Side by side here for second and third. Cuttrell and Baker. That 48 car's got a good run down to the bottom of 3. He is going to try to slide up the racetrack. He is going to clear Baker off right to the center of the corner. Can Baker come back up underneath, get the run off before he comes down the hill? In the meantime, it's going to be Kleckler coming to the win. So I was a little late with the flag. Kleckler going to take the win. Cuttrell got second at the line. Zach Baker in third. Go back and take a look at that finish real quick. One more time. They roll through 3 and 4. Cuttrell with a good run down here on the bottom through the middle of the corner. Able to move up in front of Baker as they came off of turn number 4. Baker tried to cut down to the bottom, just didn't have enough momentum as they came to the line. It was going to be Kleckler way down at the bottom of the racetrack. It was going to be close right there. And it was Cuttrell by just barely. What was it? 0.02 of a second between second and third right there at the finish line. So thanks a lot for Matthew Kleckler and Oak House Racing for allowing us to come in here and cover this recruitment race tonight. It's a good chance to test out all of our new hardware. So once again, my name is Chris Murphy with DRSN. If you've enjoyed watching us, give us a like and subscribe. If you got a league you're looking for some coverage, we can do everything from mini stocks to 24-hour endurance races. So hit us up, let us know. We are going to be back on our next planned event is Wednesday night with the Aces Up 360 Winter Sprint Car Series. We'll be back for that, and then Thursday night we will be here for the 410 championship race of the Dirty Old Bastards 410 Sprint Car Series. So, but thanks again for being here. We are going to go ahead and check out, and we will see you again next time.